And on the news hour, Kenya and Uganda have actually set a date for November next month as the month for sugar and milk trade talks. So if you look at these two countries, these two neighboring countries, they've actually been having different talks in terms of trade. Because we are all neighboring countries, we've always been using, and we are still using Mombasa as one of those ports. If you look at Dar es Salaam, Tanga port of Tanzania, now look at Mombasa port where our imports are being, used. If we are to actually see those that come through via the ship, most of them are got from those ports over there. Now Kenya playing a very pivotal part in the economy of Uganda. Now they are set, the two countries are set to take another stab at easing trade tensions between them amid juntas on whether the two countries would find a lasting breakthrough. So in our topical discussion, we are talking trade between the two countries, Uganda and Kenya. And of course, I'm here with Mr. Andrew Barije, the main man. Andrew, how are you doing?
I'm doing very okay. Yes, sir.
Let's start off from there. Kenya and Uganda, what have you known for the last, if we are to actually follow back on the situations of trade, let's say the importation and exportation of goods. If you look at the East African bloc, we import most of our things from Kenya, and most probably we export to Kenya as well. So if you look at the quality, what is the state of trade?
The trade is, because mainly we've been exporting, I think, tea to them, tea, and they give us coffee. We've been having quite good relations with Kenya concerning the trade and everything. So I believe with this new deal that is yet to be signed, and we remember that during the Dubai Expo, milk was one of the big things, and it really caused a lot of, and people were really wondering that of all things that Uganda could display, really milk. So what I think is that it wouldn't be right for us to maybe the public got too emotional. Maybe we got too emotional about that. But it's a way of, because when we speak against the milk, and if it's in the deal, but why did they choose milk? Because it looks like maybe milk could be the potential where we can make it really grow.
Economy as a country, because if your neighbors, Kenya, are throwing back the products, then what will happen? And most of the products that we believe are from the backbone of our economy, from the agriculture. What does it mean to other countries that we want to export to?
Yeah, it's though that sometimes happens, because I know the story of someone I won't mention, but they imported beans to, I think it was Sudan. It was a UN deal.
From Uganda?
He's a Uganda. He's a big guy actually for that. But now, it so happens when they check the quality, and it wasn't the quality they really wanted. Right now, as I speak, I think it's UN filed a case
against Uganda,
against him for giving out fake beans and stuff. Anyway, that shows we, the Ugandans, not only the Ugandans, but when I say Ugandans, those in authority, like the Ministry of Agriculture, to take the backbone of our economy, to give it really a thought more than before. Because agriculture, I mean, the trade deals between Kenya and Uganda is between milk and
other things.
Yes, well. But the priority
is centered here. Because according to the Livestock Principal Secretary Harry Kimtai, he said the officials have settled for a November date after the initial plan was hampered by the third wave of COVID-19 in Uganda. Remember, the second wave hit us straight. Now we are in a third wave situation. Uganda last week invited Kenya's agriculture and trade ministerial teams to Kampala for a dialogue to clear the stalemate. But like my argument that I think Andrew is trying to say to him is no, mine has always been, it seems Kenya is trying to take these talks to a lengthy situation, trying to understand, remember the issue of substandard goods that we exported.
Yes.
Now they're thinking of what if they send us expired milk, look at maybe substandard sugar, but then we've always been exporting our sugar there. So I still don't know. Is there a fear by the Kenyans? Because if you look at this dialogue, once dialogues are coming through, and then you also extend the talks, then that means one party is still trying to find out where it is going to gain?
Well, I think there is hope and there is no fear. Reason being, you see, what happened at the Dubai Expo? You know, such expos, when you, whatever thing you display, you're trying to prove to the world that this is my potential. Otherwise, they would have taken something. Because I know our government.
But according to,
by the time,
most people are saying the government actually took a lot of things there. It's just that there are some people using social media and they want, you know, what they call the mafias, people who are against the government, decided to pick out 1 or 2, 3 items that knew would actually cause public backlash against the government. So they decided to actually pin that out. But there were different screens as well. So we are talking about the virtual reality, by the way. Most of the African countries, because they believe either the ruling government is going to cause the chaos, which is an allegation, or the opposition is always going to create a room for violence, to incite violence among its supporters. Because what I do know in African elections, none of the parties will accept they have lost. Even the person who has actually lost, who is having the last part or the last share of the elections, being the last on the list, will still say he was cheated. So you could see. Now that is the bigger worry there with Kenya, being in the situation. I think if these talks continue like this, maybe Uganda, we may think Kenya is trying to avoid Uganda's product.
Not really.
But then you may find out Uganda is still worried of what are the outcomes of the elections.
Yeah, that is true in some way, because political factors play a big role in influencing economical issues in any country. So that can be, actually I believe that could be the primary cause, but it's not about our products, because when we had the president speak about, I think it was the first, during the first lockdown, not this year,
the first one,
the very first one, when
of the 21 days.
Yeah, he talked about things about Uganda making deals with Morocco, countries in the in
actually
the
the Morocco deal also includes milk as well.
Exactly. And you know, it shows you that in Uganda, I mean, there are so many, we are so endowed concerning when it comes to cattle, let me say that, cattle, to the extent that milk floods. I'll be honest with you, because where I come from.
Most of you when you go to the western part of Uganda. You see, even in the central part now, people are also dealing in that, which shows you the impact of that.
The impact of that. And milk is versatile. It's not only just consumed, but the products that can come out of it. You know, for example, I think, do they make mayonnaise?
Out of it, because those are products. If you look at ghee, is it called ghee?
Ghee, yes, ghee.
Look at yogurt, those dairy products, even confectionery, cakes, biscuits, all of that.
See that? So that shows you that even if it flooded, and there is that balance, there is a way still it can be processed and something important comes out, which benefits. So it shows you that when we not only export milk, but we can also export the products of milk, like ghee and so that's why I believe this deal is going to it's worth it.
And by the way, it will be of help to Kenya. Because if you look at Kenya's industry, the dairy industry of Kenya, the dairy sector, most of the bigger companies of that are dairy based, dealing in milk milk processed products. And they actually send them to Uganda. Most of them come from Kenya. And if you look at the sugar plantations that we have in Uganda, I think they outbid those in Kenya. We have different sectors, Lugazi, we have Kakira, Kinyara. We have quite a number. I think we even have a fourth company. We have like 5 that do sugar. So which shows you that if the market here is
it floods,
then they have to look for other markets as well.
And also, our dairy system is really developed. Like we have the potential. Maybe all we needed, I believe, is just increased investment from the government, because this is the role of the government.
Because I think the challenge is the standard or the quality.
The quality, that is as a result, because that's the reason as why most of our products, when they go out there, they command a low price, because of the value. The value addition is we are not yet there yet concerning value addition, but maybe milk and sugar could be our get, because at least there I know we are really established. I believe that.
You're established in a way that we have plenty.
We have plenty.
You see, the challenge maybe we have maybe quality, because we may have plenty, the quantity may be there, but the quality of the exports that we're having. Remember, even with the beans and maize flour, the quality, we have the quantity, we have plenty, but the quality was the issue.
The quality, okay. The issue here is, okay, the beans. Why? Because beans are not processed. The way they are planted is how they are exported. So that comes back to the, you know, some of these people, when they get big deals to export, they come to the people because they want to. Now, actually, let me drive it. What drives that low quality is the desire for too much profit.
Everyone wants to hit the market.
You want to hit the market, so you end up going to the farmers down there because you know they're going to give you cheap beans,
and you sell them expensively
because you want quick money. But you don't mind about the relationship with that person you're exporting to. So I think that's the challenge. But I don't really think we have poor quality in our country. I don't think.
It is the process of that brings out the poor quality. Like you mentioned, by the way, the desire for too much money. Everyone wants the money, and once you know there is a source, you want to exploit it immediately.
Yeah, but one thing we forget is that I would rather sell something little with a little profit, so that when I attract more customers in the future, I will get much more profit. I mean, that principle, you know, that's how these big people are surviving.
You see, the challenge that we have now is we're in a COVID time, and in a situation of COVID, most probably everyone is going to say, why? If I have the opportunity to, there is this saying where someone tells you, if you have a source of income, or if you have one cow, make sure you milk it until it is dry, so you can actually get money out of it. Because at the end of the day, it is the only one you have. So that's why you would see that if they realize the source of their products is here, they have to to actually make sure they exploit it and get the money before it's going to happen in the future.
In the future, yes.
So that means you need to be very, very sensitive on what, because normally they say the first impression is always key to everything. So you have to impress the person you're dealing with to make sure that they stay active in the business. And it is pretty much interesting because if you look at the nature of our trade now, or with Kenya, we've been exporting a number of products there, and we've actually been importing quite a number of them. If you look at the products in the supermarkets, more so the agro-processed, it is something that bothers me, by the way. If you go to a supermarket and look at the juices, on, let's say, on the stand of the juices, you will see most of them having the Kenya Bureau of Standards mark. The KEB, is it the KNBS? Just like our UNBS here. So you could see, and you're like, hey, so that means we do not have, and we have only a few juices here, and of which
Splash is
that is ours. If I'm to put, that is ours. So if you look at the bigger brands, all coming in from Kenya. And then you're like, so that means our group, we say agriculture is our backbone. So that means when we export them, now you could see Kenya is actually getting more money out. We export to them, they return them to us on a higher.
Now, let me tell you something. Yes, agriculture is the backbone of our economy, which is true because, okay, maybe it's something we've grown up knowing. But the real statistics, when you go a bit to study, according to the World Bank, you find that actually the service sector has a certain, contributes about a higher percentage to the country's GDP. So when I see